because this was probably one of my hardest. I cried. Did you cry or did you tear up? But then I think looking back, we probably all regretted it. Welcome back to our channel, guys. Today I want to go over a first trimester recap. We don't sigh. We obviously shared the whole journey, the whole process with you online, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth on how it was as a whole, because this was probably one of my hardest first trimesters that I've gone through.
Not probably. It was without a doubt the hardest.
With Canyon and Ember, I had really easy pregnancies and didn't have any morning sickness. And so starting into Surrogacy, the last journey I did have morning sickness, and I can 100% attribute it to the IVF meds, because the day I stopped medication, I'm almost immediately not nauseous anymore, which I'm thankful for that, because there's an end in sight, but you have to do the meds, like that, there's no question. So it's just, the nausea is gonna happen. And so yeah, like starting out, it was, I would say, rough in the beginning mentally. Going through transfer was great, so smooth, such like an amazing process, walking through with Jake and Kenzie and just being with them and then being apart, and like that whole process was
that part of
so
it
great.
Was very easy,
yes,
and carefree, and everybody was excited. And it's like, obviously there's fears and doubts, but ultimately we were all very hopeful.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like that part of this like, first trimester was super easy.
Oh yeah, but right jumping into like the 2-week wait and then beta, and then we did do at-home testing, which we didn't do our first surrogacy journey. Our other intended mother just didn't want us to. I didn't really have a desire, so I was like, definitely, you know, I'm not gonna do it. But this one, I think we all were like, we can, we don't have to, and ultimately Jake, Kenzie, and I decided let's just do it. But then I think looking back, we probably all regretted it because it added so much more fear than we needed, because now baby's fine and healthy and on track, but in the moment, starting out with low beta numbers generally is not a good sign. It's not a sign of healthy, growing, on track embryo and on track baby. And so it just gave a lot of fear that wasn't needed early on.
And I think that the science has changed behind it, where like our last journey, they wanted to see certain numbers, which we weren't even close to. But then reading multiple articles, there's some that say a lower number is okay. And like the window of like being acceptable is different depending on what site and what person you talk to. Yeah,
and we also did a blood test on 9 days post-transfer, where generally it's 14 days post-transfer and you're gonna have a higher number there. So what you should have at your first beta and at 14 days is different from 9 days, but they don't have that, like, they don't have that number online. And so it was hard mentally with that low beta. But around that time, my symptoms were pretty good. I mean, it was sore boobs, cramping, like normal pregnancy symptoms that are pretty consistent with my pregnancies. And so it was reassuring, but those low betas were hard. But once we got through continuing growing, doubling betas, that first heartbeat with being able to like be on FaceTime with Jake and Kenzie, I cried. Did you cry or did you tear up?
No, I was just trying to make sure the video was
He was like FaceTiming the whole time, and so I'm like right away like, is there a heartbeat? And then like once you see the little flicker, it's just, it made everything, the, you know, roller coaster of emotions of the betas worth it. And
how did we ever see that? Because at that point, like, you just see a little clump of cells.
Yeah, it's just
and
like
then
a little
you just
shadow.
see like the flicker of the heart.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that in any other journey.
We did see it even at 6 weeks, the first journey we did. I don't remember with ours, but honestly, a lot of times they say, hey, don't get your hopes up for 6 weeks because you may not see the heartbeat. A lot of times you don't see heartbeat until 8 weeks. So we were going in very open-minded. I think we were 8 weeks, honestly. I don't think we were 6 weeks. I think we were 8 weeks. So we hoped we saw it, but sometimes you don't. And so right then when you see it, it's just this like rush of, you know, excitement, thankfulness, peace. And it was a really special moment.
Yeah. As mixed as your emotions were during the first trimester, I had very mixed emotions.
Why?
Not highs and lows, but it was like, one, trying to take care of you, but then
Yeah.
also getting really excited because I did multiple steak and potatoes runs in the middle of the, like 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm
feel
craving a steak and potatoes from this certain restaurant, and then I would go and get that.
This time I did have a lot more food cravings and food aversions.
Do you think it's like placebo effect? Like I'm pregnant, I just feel like I need this now?
Maybe, and maybe it's just, you know, I don't know, hormones and me realizing it's 10 p.m. and I'm starving, but the only thing that sounded good was a steak and potatoes. I don't know.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell and Sonic, rice and ranch. Oh my gosh.
I genuinely
I think I'm burnt out on it.
You weren't actually having those cravings.
No, I was.
I think that you just realized you were gonna get it because you're pregnant.
Yes, no, it was that. It was literally like, I'm hungry and nothing sounds good, but rice sounds good with some ranch on it. That was it. So it's not like I was specifically craving rice and ranch. It was that I'm hungry and none of these other options sound good, but rice sounds good because it's just bland.
Or Taco Bell sounds good. And again, it sounds good. And tomorrow it sounds good. And every day it sounds good.
Lots of Taco Bell. But
Taco Bell and fake sushi.
I finally found the order at Taco Bell that I love. Because my old order at Taco Bell, I can't even eat my old order.
What?
I haven't, the cheesy bean and rice burrito, I don't know. Spicy potato soft taco. I have gotten those a couple times, but they don't really sound good anymore. But Soft Taco Supreme and Doritos Logos Taco Supreme, sounds amazing.
The amount of money that Taco Bell has made off of this journey is unbelievable. They should be sending a thank you card, handwritten from the CEO of Taco Bell.
Thank you, Samantha, for keeping us afloat.
No, to Jake and Kenzie. Like, if it weren't for you in this surrogacy journey, Sam wouldn't be pregnant right now.
Not.
And we wouldn't have made so much money off of the Matthews.
But it's good, and it's honestly not that bad for you. 170 calories for a taco?
Is that all it is?
Yeah, that's like pretty
I
good.
should be getting the taco instead of the grilled cheese steak burrito.
I probably helped Dan out a few pounds too.
Yeah, I've been trying. She's like, babe, I think you need to go on a diet. Also, would you like me to get something from Taco Bell for you?
Yes. So food aversion wise and cravings, probably a little bit more. But the worst part of the whole first trimester was my nausea. I had so much nausea, and with Canyon and Ember, I had energy and lived my normal life from the beginning of pregnancy all the way to the end. So this journey, and I don't even remember as much fatigue last journey, but this journey I was so nauseous and so tired. I don't know how many naps I took. There were days I literally...
How many days have you been pregnant?
Oh my gosh, that's true. I had days where I had planned, like, I had work to do, I had errands to run, and I didn't even want to get out of bed. I was just so nauseous. You guys probably saw in my stories, like, no makeup, hair not done. I just didn't even have it in me to, like, barely get up and get the kids ready for school and, like, out the door. To then, let alone, like, do work from home and, like, record content and edit, that I just couldn't function.
Yeah,
And
lots of naps.
And it was almost the day, maybe a few days after second trimester started, that I had energy. And like I said, the nausea stopped immediately after injection stopped, but the fatigue continued. And so it was just a really rough few months, but it's all worth it. Like at the end of the day, I know that all of this is happening. I know that I'm going through all of this for a reason. It's for baby. It's for Jake and Kenzie, for them to hold their baby. And so it makes it all easy. Like I was chatting with Kenzie the other day, and you know, there's so much fear about everything that could happen between now and delivery. And I said, Kenzie, although this journey has been hard on me, she knows it's been hard on me. I'm like, I will go through this 5 times for you to have your baby. If that means at the end of the 5th journey you have your baby, I will do it. Like, I will go through this. I will go through it again. Dan will do it again with me, because we love you, we want this for you, and it's worth it. So it was rough, it was emotional. I had way more tears this journey. Kind of, right?
Yeah, it was pretty rough physically and emotionally.
So it was a lot. So if you're going through your pregnancies, whether it's your first or your 4th, and it just does not look like what you thought it would or what you imagined, just remember, It's all gonna be worth it. It's all for a reason. And you never know, the next day, tomorrow may be completely different. That's just pregnancy. And so I hope your nausea ends when your meds end, or when your first trimester ends, your fatigue ends when first trimester ends, and hopefully us in the second trimester, I can have more energy, I can be motivated.
Moving on to Burger King.
Moving on, no, thank you. I will stay with my Taco Bell, but have like, you know, pregnancy glow, feel a lot better. I can already tell you in the past 2 weeks, I do have more energy. I feel more myself. You know, the bump is looking more like a bump and not a pudge. And so it's all proving to be a great start to a second trimester. So we'll keep you up to date on that. The end conclusion of the first trimester was, it was rough.
1 down, 2 to go.
Wait, that was